Alright, hello, welcome back to the channel. Oh, wait a minute. I'm a fucking idiot. I forgot to move the microphone over. Who needs good audio anyway? Am I right? Alright. There we go. Alright, hello, welcome back to the channel. This, of course, is another anime reaction video. Today, we're gonna be going more... What the fuck am I trying to say? We're gonna be continuing with Gintama. We're going with episode 43 and 44. Coming off of the longest arc in Gintama so far, which is so weird to say out loud, because literally the longest arc is 3 episodes. It's 3 episodes. There's nothing compared to some of the other contemporary shonen series, but you know what? It is what it is. I'm still here for it. I'm in love with Gintama right now. So I'm really excited to get going with more of Gintama. So we're going to get started with episode 43 here in a second. As always, the uncut reaction will be available in the description below via the links to either Pixel Drain or BitChute. So go ahead and watch the reaction there, and then come back to YouTube for the discussion. I think I like having the light off in the background. I think this lighting looks a little bit better, actually. But it might also be because of the window or something. That might be contributing to it. But what was I saying? Right. This was a great episode. I wasn't expecting a follow-up episode to the end of that little mini arc, because technically it's 3 episodes. Technically, including this one, it's 4, even though you don't really need this last episode to have like a satisfying conclusion to that mini arc. And that's why I wasn't expecting this episode to be about the girls fighting over which of them gets to be the female lead. But that was funny as hell. Just getting to see more of their personalities, because we've always seen little bits and pieces of the other girls in this show, but we've never really seen them full on in a full episode, just like pretty much dedicated to themselves. I mean, we might have in the past, and it's probably just been a while, and that's why I don't really remember it very well. But that was a great ass episode. It was hilarious. I loved watching them fighting over it, especially because especially because of what? Especially because the guys just couldn't do anything about it. They were basically being pushed around the whole time. That was funny. I really enjoyed it. I forget what it was, but I kind of want to go look it up. What was that one show I was talking about? It's like, it's gonna be hard to remember. I don't know where it is, but there was a plot of some episode of a show I watched like years ago where there's like some magic thing where it's like, here's what your friends and family's life would be like if you weren't around, and and it turned out their friends and family were like super happy. Their lives are like infinitely better without them around, which is really fucking depressing when you think about it. And I forget how that episode gets resolved. Like it might have been something like, oh, even though our lives are perfect, it's not like, it doesn't make us happy. I forget how it goes. But that's probably what Kagura wanted. Kagura wanted to observe from the outside what it would be like if she was gone. And she was hoping they would be really sad about it so that she could probably like come in, be triumphant, and be like, "Oh, you missed me, didn't you?" or whatever. But that ended so quickly. Like, outside of the very beginning, when Shinpachi and like Otose and like I think Hasegawa might have been mentioning it back when Gintoki was in the bathroom, that was pretty much it. And after that, they completely moved on to just talking about Gintoki's swelling cock and balls, that's classic Gintama right there. Just fucking lowbrow, crass, turlet humor, you know? Talking about Gintoki's dick because he pissed on that worm. Which, you know what I'm surprised by? I'm surprised there wasn't a joke where he mentioned, oh, I should probably call Kagura's dad or something, see if he's having the same symptoms, because we both pissed on the worm together. And then it cuts real quick to wherever Kagura's dad is, and then he sneezes, because that's always like a joke they use at least in anime, because it's like there's like a saying, like, whenever you sneeze, it's because someone's talking about you. and if you sneeze twice, it's something bad, and it's like once it's something bad, twice they're saying something good about you. I think is the superstition or the saying or whatever. But just like a quick little gag of Kagura's dad doing whatever and then sneezing and then it cuts back. Just like it would have been like a real quick thing. It wouldn't have changed much. But you know, it is what it is. I like the self-aware humor they had in this episode too, when the three girls were fighting over who could be the main female lead for the rest of the series, because they were going back and forth. Because dialects, even though like as a like an English watcher, that's not something I would usually pick up on, because that's something specific to Japanese. Like dialects aren't like something I'll pick up on right out of the gate. The only time I recognize them is, I think, Catherine. When she was introduced, because she was very, very obviously speaking in a way that didn't sound like everyone else, and it was pretty obvious. And the two foreigners that they had do advertisements in that one episode, I forget, where there was just like occasionally advertisements for things on TV, and that's where we learned that Gintoki's sword is something that he just buys as like an as seen on TV type thing. But other than that, like the little words they add at the end of sentences or whatever that some like characters have, like I only know about it now, but even when I was like starting out, like Naruto for example, that's not something I picked up on. That like Naruto would say "date bayo" a lot at the end of a sentence. It would be like something something tabayo or something like that. His mother would say "date bane," I think, and then Boruto says "date base" or something like that. And that's like a little thing that usually wouldn't get picked up in translation. I think they would normally change that to like, I think for Naruto they changed it to like, you know, like he adds like a something something, you know, at the end of his sentences. And I guess that's something you can pick up on, but I don't think it's as obvious as as they're, because like a lot of that joke of like them adding things to the end of their sentences is like predicated on the fact that that's like a common trope that happens in pretty much everything that like you know about. So that's like more specific, like Japanese specific comedy. You have to like know Japanese to understand that. And while I think it's pointed out in the subtitles and like the characters obviously saying it out loud to each other, it's, again, if you didn't have like prior knowledge of that sort of thing, it probably wouldn't have been as funny, if that makes sense. So that's just like an interesting little thing. A lot of good self-aware humor. So all in all, another great episode. So I'm excited to get into more of it. So next up is Gintama, episode 44. All right. So that was another really good episode. Other than not that I was uncomfortable, but that was definitely very different. All the shit humor this episode's like, I know it's been done before that it had more inappropriate humor or whatever you want to call it, turbulent humor, but this was fucking to the extreme. Like last episode we spent like a good while talking about Gintoki's dick, about a swelling dick, and then this episode so many people were bringing up the not the idea, like I almost said the concept of shit, like that's a weird thing to say out loud, but so many people were bringing up shit, so many people were shitting themselves, so many, well not so many, but there was that one guy who got his ass penetrated by Gintoki's big toe. Good lord, that must have been a goddamn experience. I want to know how he feels after that whole thing went down, because goddamn. Because even if you're into that sort of thing, like, Gintoki was from, like, the top ropes. He flew down and then it got stuck. He was wiggling. He was wiggling around in there for a while before pulling out. And that must have been, like, even though it didn't go, like, you know, it was pretty solidly in there. It must have had, what the kids say, gorilla grip. But Gintoki was like in midair while he was wiggling it out, which would imply he was putting all of his weight on it Oh. This fucking episode, dude. Holy shit, literally. And then there was Kagura. I just felt so bad for her because she is just a kid. She was slowly walking over to Dad, because she got her outfit messed up. Oh, poor Kagura. She's so I was honestly thinking it might have just been Curry and she just thought it was shit. But honestly, now that I've seen later in the episode where he added Gintoki had actual shit on his foot, they showed it. Ugh, it's disgusting. It was vile. I'm glad they didn't go really ultra detailed with that, because if they went for like a realistic depiction of like shit stains on his toe, I'm not usually like that prone to vomiting. I'm usually able to handle that. I watch all the Saw movies. That doesn't get me. But that would be vile. I would probably actually throw up in my mouth a little bit if they went for more realistic look at a more realistic depiction of shit on Gintoki's foot. But now going over to the Hattori fight again. Not the best animation in the entire anime industry, but that's okay because Gintama is still really funny. It's still one of the funniest anime I've ever seen, and I haven't even finished it yet. I'm going out there. Not why I'm putting this on. I'm gonna go out there and say it's genuinely one of. It's up there. It's got to be at least in my top 5. And I've watched a pretty decent amount of comedy anime, like. And even anime that's not comedy, so to speak, but has really good like comedy moments in it. Because this is more like the opposite of that, where it's like a comedy anime with some action and serious drama mixed in. But again, top 5. Top 5. Funniest anime of all time. Gotta love actually good fight anime. Actually, all things considered, really good fight animation. Like, as I was saying, if this is gonna be... If you're telling me that the serious arcs and the movies are going to have fights that are even better animated than this, man, am I even more, like, happy that I started Gintama. What the fuck am I saying? I'm already really glad I decided to start watching Gintama because it's really funny, and I love pretty much everything about it. But I'd be even happier if I knew that the fight animation was going to get even better as time goes on. And like storytelling and characters, you know, like I can't wait. It's gonna be fucking good. I don't use this word very often. I don't use these words very often, but it's going to be fucking lit, dude. I feel so unnatural saying that word out loud, but not the shit, dude. The shit. Oh my god. Honestly, this could go either one of two ways. I will either block this out of my memory and until like as I progress further into the series and as time passes, I'm either gonna block this memory out of my mind of these three guys on camera shitting their pants. Not seeing the shit, thank God. Can you imagine? This is a kid show, we wouldn't go that far. But shitting their pants. I'm either gonna forget that, or like, and then like years later, if I'm ever rewatching this show with like a friend or something, if I'm rewatching it by myself years later or with a friend who's never watched it before, and then this happens, I'm gonna like, I'm gonna fucking have a panic attack, and that friend is never gonna talk to me again, or it's gonna be ingrained in my mind for the rest of my life. I'm gonna go to sleep tonight. And that's gonna be my nightmare. That's gonna be my whole night, is constantly trying to go to sleep and waking up because of that nightmare, and waking up in the middle of the night stressing like, did I just shit myself? Did I just shit the bed? Oh my god. It's gonna be one of those two things. I guarantee you. Or it's gonna be the more sensible, more realistic route, or where I'm gonna remember it as a funny thing, but it's not gonna come up very often. Boy, whatever. That's all I gotta say about this episode. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to press the like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell for more Gintama. I blanked out there for a second, but that's okay. I was thinking about shit. Man, I wonder how many shit fetishists watch Gintama and during this episode their penis was swelling like Gintoki's was in the last episode. But this time it's a good thing, I think. No, shit fetishes aren't a good thing. I'm sorry. Don't mean to kink shame. See you later. I gotta stop this.